So I want to talk today about the 3 steps that manifestation and law of attraction, that, just the 3 steps that those of us who cut our teeth on, like on Abraham or the movie The Secret or whatnot, and I actually didn't cut my teeth on those because I had been studying it for way longer. But we've always heard ask, believe, receive, right? That's pretty common. And it actually dates back to Charles Haanel and, oh my gosh, I'm not being able to think of the people, Neville Goddard. There's a lot of people that were in the metaphysical movement of the 1920s who were using this terminology, and it got made really popular, I think, by Esther Hicks. But anyway, I know you've heard it, and the movie The Secret, I think, says it. Ask, believe, receive. Okay, so we get that. I'm asking for a new car. I'm here to receive it. Where's it at? Let's go through this one by one so that we understand it. Asking is making a decision. A lot of people don't recognize that it's not just asking like you're asking an outside source. Can I please have a car? That's not what it's about. Asking, by definition, is deciding that you're going to have this. You could call it commanding, but we call it asking. So asking it is. I'm asking the universe to give me these great blessings. I'm asking for it, not with my words necessarily, but with my energy. I'm saying, I want that. I'm deciding. I'm pointing. Asking is pointing. Here's what I want. Maybe you write it down. Maybe you do a vision board. But asking is committing. It's making a choice. You don't ask to lose 20 pounds and then go to the drive-thru at McDonald's. That's not asking. How can anyone, the universe at large, take you seriously? That is not a very good ask. To ask is to decide, I am going to have this. That's asking, okay? The second step is believing. And listen, believing is where we go into our superconscious mind and we find the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That's how we believe. Because right now, if you believe that you could have the thing that you're asking for, you would have it. But that 95% of your subconscious mind is telling you you can't have it for whatever reason. You've asked for it. If you've asked properly, if you've said, I'm going to have this is what I'm deciding. But if you want to believe it, the way that you believe it is so easy. You activate the emotion of already having it. That is believing. And people will say all the time, I need to change this belief. How do I change that belief? I want to change this belief. Stop the insanity. That's not how it has to work. Believing is convincing your body that you already have it. And it's really not that hard at all. You close your eyes, you make sure you're in a relaxed brain state, you see a vision of what it is that you want to create, having already come true. You get excited and you get grateful. So you've activated your belief muscle. And we also know through neuroscience that the more that you envision it in your mind and feel it in your body, the more neural networks you're going to create. And we also know through psychology and neuroscience that you can literally reprogram the 95% of your brain that's saying, no, you can't have it, by just imagining it. I mean, when I wrote several years ago the book Imagine That, and a lot of people liked it. Like a lot of people contacted me who I've never met before and said, oh my God, this book changed my life. And I'm like, yay. People don't think on their own to use their imagination, which I think is a crime. I think it should be taught in schools. Imagination is so much more important than the things they teach us in school. Use your imagination to create the reality that you want to create. Right? So important. So that's believe. And then the third one, and this is going to be the most difficult for everyone, including myself. The third one is to receive. Now, I talked at the very beginning about being receiving, being open. You have to be open to receive. Remember that if you're contracted, you're not open. You're like saying, give me money. And my hand is like this. When you open up, you're like, okay, give me money. and now you're expanded. Well, that whole thing goes for your body and your energy field as well. So receiving in part is about being open to receive. And you ask yourself, am I a good receiver? When someone pays me a compliment, do I brush it off? Like, oh, this old thing? Or do I accept it? Like, oh, I love your hair. Oh God, it needs a cut. That is not receiving. That is not receiving. That is brushing it off. And remember, we live in an energetic universe. So whatever you brush off, you're saying, I don't want it. So when someone gives you a compliment, if you can't accept it, absorb it, feel it, be grateful for it, say thank you, that's showing you that you have a hard time receiving. But wait, the plot thickens. Receiving also includes our ability to let go. And I want to say this again, and it's so important. If you don't let go of the how's it going to get here, wait, that's not it, I don't see it yet. If you don't let go of that, you are energetically resisting what you want. So you made a decision, this is what I want, and you've activated the belief by envisioning it, seeing it, feeling it, being grateful for it in advance, right? And now it's the third step. You have to be in receiving mode. But you can't be in receiving mode if you're checking every 5 seconds to see where it's at. Or if you're saying, but how? How's a new listing going to come to me? I haven't even been anywhere. How am I going to get $1 million? That's what stops you from receiving. It's what stops all of us from receiving. I want to really make sure you get this. What we resist persists. And the minute we are waiting, we stop creating. The minute we are waiting, we stop creating. Make sense? So your job is to ask, believe, receive. That's the steps. And I don't feel, from my experience, that when they were first presented, they were presented either in a way that I understood or the way that is easiest to understand. But it's nuanced, right? The receiving part is very nuanced, and it really has to do with not worrying about the how is not your problem. You stay in the frequency of belief, and it's going to come to you. It's the resistance, and it's the questioning, and it's checking. I always say to my clients that it's like putting a cake in the oven and then opening the door. Heaven help us if it's a souffle, right? Every 3 minutes. It's not here. I don't see it. Okay. Yeah, I want it. I don't see it. I don't see it. You're never going to bake a cake that way. So, ask, believe, receive. Absolutely, you got this. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.